Hi, my name is Gildemyn. I'm a visual artist. Welcome to my studio. I live and work in Ghent, a city in Belgium, Europe. My studio is located in a historical building that was once a school building, so it is quite large. And there are other artists active here, around 40, and I see them as my colleagues. It is a temporary studio. The building will one day convert into luxury lofts. Until that time, I can enjoy working in a beautiful place and have been doing this for about 7 years. I'm excited that you joined me on this video. In this video, I'll focus on Sisyphus. The series of Sisyphus contains paintings and drawings and installation. I have been working on it since 2019, so about 3 years. Let me show you around. The series contains 12 large canvases, 21 smaller pieces on paper, about 18 paintings on paper, and a vast amount of smaller works, which I call my satellite works. As in the video, I'm presenting you my work and working process. I want to emphasize that my main goal of this video is to start a conversation with you. So if you feel connected to the concepts, the art pieces, if you have anything to add from your own position, if you have your vision or your project, feel free to give me a sign. I would be very happy to connect. I will make sure to add my contact info at the end of the video, so don't hesitate to use it. So Sisyphus, as you might know, is the mythical king that is forced by the Greek gods to push a heavy stone up the mountain for eternity. And every time his stone reaches the mountaintop, it rolls back down, forcing Sisyphus to start all over again. As this story has been written thousands of years ago, today we still know what this feels like. We still encounter these kind of situations, life situations. Being it for an internal or an external reason, we all have these situations where we bump into our stone, realizing some troubles keep coming back, how hard we try. And that's called Sisyphus labor, a term we still use today. So, am I making a series of Sisyphus? In a sense, yes. This series is my artistic answer to this concept. Because what Sisyphus goes through, I notice this pattern in my personal life, and I'm pretty sure you feel this too in your life, regardless of where you come from or where you are heading. So this actually makes this series about you. And of course they have gone through my hands, and the choices I made come from deep down my female and artistic gaze. I'm actually talking to you through these works, and I really invite you to come and have a look, to step into the paintings and write your story along with it. And now the technical parts, feel free to skip this part if you don't need technical details. I'll make sure to As you notice on the paintings, they have a white, all of them, all 12 of them have a white border. It is here because I made the paintings with the goal to be stretched on a frame. I'll show you an example. Like this older piece here. This is stretched on a wooden frame, like you can see here. The same will happen with the Sisyphus series. So the border you see here, it will actually fold behind the painting and the painting will stop there. For the moment I avoid stretching them on a frame because the series will travel, and leaving them as they are now makes them easily transportable. I can literally roll them up into one big roll of canvas, put them under my arm and go on my way. And the second reason I'm waiting to have them stretched is because this series has been exhibited in a museum in the SMAK in Ghent. I'll show some pictures in the video. And I've seen that it works quite well as such. When the paintings have room to breathe and the architecture of the exhibition space is well fitted, it really works well. So every time these bigger paintings will be exhibited, they will be accompanied by smaller pieces. And the smaller pieces are all connected to the same Sisyphus bigger series. And I call them my satellite works. And these are, for example, pieces like these drawings, where there's more than a dozen of also smaller pieces, smaller paintings, like here. These are, for example, stretched on a frame. Like these, they have the same format as the bigger ones. And they have literally been used as studies for the bigger pieces. And as such, that these are really also paintings that stand on their own. Also have, for example, these kind of paintings that I have stretched on really thin cardboard underground as a temporary measure, but it works as well. So all paintings in my studio are hanging close together on the wall. That's because this is a studio setting, not an exhibition setting, and I will actually be working on them. They have been made layer by layer, that's how I work, and there's one final layer I will put on them and I will film it, so they are ready to do this. Once they are exhibited, they need more space between the paintings. The series of 12 paintings can be seen as 12 chapters. They can easily be divided by 2 series of 6, 3 series of 4, 4 series of 3. They can hang on the wall or float free in space on thin wires. This all depends on how the exhibition space is and is in the hands of either the gallerist or the curator. But the whole series, the whole concept is flexible enough to form the story. So I'm actually happy to share the conversation with whom is making the exhibition. So what actually happens in the paintings? This is the fun part. The paintings are big. This is important. They have the size of a door. That's important too. Because I am convinced that our body reacts to the space around us, even if we don't realize it. So the paintings, they are the size of a door. There's even a door next to it, as you can see. Because I want your body to unconsciously feel the ability to step into the paintings. In that sense, the paintings are portals, as art and music is, or as a scientific or business idea that forms into your head. They all have the ability to form a portal. So Sisyphus has been depicted in art history as a man rolling up the rock, up the hill, and having a rough time. A Google search will make it clear that even today this is the most known part of the story. Although one writer in history, on the contrary, has written about Sisyphus from another perspective. His name is Albert Camus. It's a French writer. He is the first one, as I know of, who has written about Sisyphus from the viewpoint of the person getting down the hill until the end of time, without his rock. And this getting down, that is the moment that my paintings take place. Because we all have those moments where it isn't necessarily physical labor that makes us suffer. Sometimes it does, of course, but there are also a lot of moments when we don't have our stone. It's a moment we reflect on our situation. To be able to reflect means we have to be able to stand still. And that can be a really heavy moment. And on the contrary, Albert Camus explains in his Mythe de Sisyphe that Sisyphus must be a really happy person, the happiest person on earth. It's difficult to grasp this idea, and I'm not convinced. But what I'm convinced of is that Sisyphus is a really strong person because he's able to realize, he or she is able to realize this. Sisyphus can be a woman or a man. It can be you commuting in the subway or you encountering your Sisyphus-like moment when you realize your struggles are coming back. As this is the end of the video, I say thank you for sticking until the end. If the art pieces, the concept of Sisyphus resonates with you, I'm really happy to hear that. If you want to get in contact and reach out, don't hesitate, I would be happy to meet you. I appreciate you for doing this. Thank you.